We are live.
Are we? Because it's not on my screen. Okay. Alright, wow. That was weird. I don't know if it looked like that on your screens.
Check. How's our robot?
It's fine.
Check. How's our robot? Jesus. Kill your volume.
I'm trying, but Pac went away. There we go.
Okay, let's try this again. Also, side note for anyone who might be watching this on YouTube, Twitch.
There's a reverb now.
Twitch just entirely exploded all over itself, so we had to restart, and that's why you are starting in the middle of us.
I'm gonna put my volume back on.
Well, it echoes. It definitely echoes when you have this.
Alright. Car crashed into gas station wall. Typical day here. Yeah.
Alright, so anyways, if you're watching this on YouTube, you didn't miss anything other than us sounding like we were robots for about 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I mean,
Woo!
I need like a mirror so you guys could see like what I see right now.
There's a lot of like things in front of us.
Yeah. I mean, we have a microphone, camera. I have to set up the tripod now. I have the Stream Deck over here, as I said last week. Then down here is a computer, because if I want to show you stuff, I push a button, and I can show you stuff, which is fun. So, improvements from last week, but it's a lot to set up, and then all of a sudden we sound like robots. So that's awesome. So anyways, what's up? Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing?
Happy Sunday. Oh my god, so many people in this stream. It's funny though, like, our audio messes up and like every single person
Is talking?
said something about it.
Yeah. Alright, so now what are we going to talk about, guys? Do I need to need to get the audio all messed up again?
Steve even spoke up.
He did?
Look, he said reboot.
For the record, I had to restart OBS. If you guys got that flicker for a second that we were
crazy.
getting, because I stopped streaming but left it recording and then started the stream again, and it just like glitched out.
It totally did. That was wild. Oh.
Liquid Death. Julie's repping now too. I don't know if anything's gonna come of it, but they reached out to me about putting my name on a Liquid Death trading card. I don't know how that's gonna work, but fingers crossed that I get to be immortalized with the Liquid Death crew.
That'd be cool.
Hey, Tomek. Oh.
Oh my god. Well, I don't have anything in my personal life. Oh my god, I'm gonna cough. I swallowed the water wrong. It might just murder my thirst. Wow. We worked out yesterday, so every single part of my body hurts. Mostly my lower body, actually. My arms are not that bad at all. Yeah.
I lost my coffee. Yeah, I've been tricking Julie by going on hikes, but really it's with my personal trainer. So when we get there, we do an actual workout before we go on the hike. So I've been fooling her into working out.
I'm allowing it.
Oh.
I don't know. I really hate working out. It's the pits. Also, though, it's so lovely here in Southern California. It's like, I like going outside and doing things in forests and stuff. It's nice. Yes, we do have trees here.
Somebody asked if we have trees?
No, I'm saying that.
Oh. I was like, what?
We have everything here in Southern California. Like, every type of landscape.
Yeah, Michael,
Possibly
I mean,
what?
You're not going to do it unless you do it. I know that sounds, like, blatantly obvious, but I won't work out by myself. When I wake up, I'm like, well, I'm tired and I want coffee. Do I want to work out or do I want to plant my ass on the couch?
I want to work out.
Yeah, I want to plant my ass on the couch.
Yeah.
Or there's some big Doomtrooper project I'm working on that I want to finish, and I'm like, well, I'll just work out next week so I can finish this, because next week I won't have any big bugs to fix.
There is a plethora of information on the internet for working out, and every day we all choose to not use it. myself included.
But a couple years ago, I started occasionally paying a personal trainer because I pay him, and if I don't go, I still pay him. So I might as well go.
Kind of have to go. Although there were plenty of times where you didn't go.
It's true.
I'm talking about like years ago.
Yeah.
There was plenty of times. Oh my god. Even with that over your head, I think you still were just like, I can't today.
Well, it's a lot. I mean, as most of you guys know, I have a full-time job, plus a second full-time job working on Doomtrooper, plus trying to spend time with Julie. Pre-pandemic, I try to spend time with my friends, plus any other hobbies like playing video games or doing basic like hardware modifications. I still have half of my Nintendo Switch I need to take apart because I was putting a custom case on it. It's just never enough time to do everything. Michael said, or Tomek said, exchange coffee with workout. I wish it was that easy. I could just snap my fingers and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go, work out instead of drink coffee. My brain just isn't wired that way. I don't think.
Sweet coffee. Well, I know that Justin did a lot this week on Doomtrooper. I don't know if it's all exciting stuff, because I feel like some of it was like back end fixing things. But yeah, I know you did cards too.
I did an awful lot. I didn't get as many cards this week as I wanted to, but it was okay because I tried to get through a really large number of bugs that people had reported. Like Solifin, I don't know if he's here, but
he's here.
That guy took me at my word last week and showed up in Discord, and he was like, here are 35 bugs that you haven't fixed yet. And he's
Justin
like,
said, even if you have submitted the bugs previously, do it again.
Yeah, so he took me at my word, and he was like, I mean this entirely jokingly, but he showed up like, hey asshole, here's all the shit you forgot about. And I was like, thank you.
Hey man, it's good.
It's exactly what I asked for.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, so I closed a lot of bugs, which you guys got to see. I closed a lot of visual things that were happening in the client, which you probably won't see immediately, but you would notice if I showed you the before and after. And I did add a bunch of cards. But beyond that, I fixed some code to make future cards easier to add, which is always a good step. Like, you guys don't see the immediate results of that, but over time you will see as cards come online. For example, cards like Martial Training, Explosion, see if I get this right, Corrosive E-Core? I don't remember last week.
Oh no, we had the big discussion about how it should be pronounced. It was like Icar or something else.
Yeah, so those cards all you activate during combat from your shadow hand, only if you are a combatant, and they have to respect, some of them have to respect power immunity on your opponent. So now, in terms of programming, it's one line of code to make those cards work. So basically there's more lines like hidden in a different place, but if I need to add a card that is activatable from your shadow hand during combat, I just say it's like activatable during combat as combatant in shadow hand equals true. It's like a really long word, but I wanted to make sure everyone who read it knew exactly what it meant. So I just set that to true, and the card will show up if it is able to show up. So stuff like that prevents me from having bugs with Explosion, but not Martial Training. Like, it makes sure that all cards work perfectly or all cards are broken, which makes it a lot easier to fix. So that's fun. Tomek is determined to get us to work out. You can combine kids with workout to Michael. Yeah, you put one on each shoulder and then just do the squats.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I've been working on that you guys haven't really, you don't see directly. Let's see if I can show you though.
Let's see if this works.
Yeah, so every time there's a release now, I get data on who's playing it, what new issues popped up, what date it was released, new issues, new crashes, then I can come in. I gotta be careful. That might show someone's email address. Sorry.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to leak anyone's email address. That should be all right. So I actually get the line of code now that crashed, and this is when I talk about like my automated error reports. So I will see in most cases the exact line that crashed. Also, if you actually crash the client, like not something on the back end with a card, you'll get a box that asks you what you were doing. Fill that out. It's optional. But if you fill that out, it'll get attached to this screen. So I will see, if shadow card didn't work, I wonder what they were doing. But if you typed, I dragged this card to this warrior and then it crashed, it'll help me be able to reproduce it faster. But it's neat because this is how I am able to find the bugs before you guys even report it. And it's important to note that for every one of you guys that reports a bug, there's probably 9 who either don't report it or say this game is buggy and they quit forever. So finding the bugs on my own and automatically can be a huge boon. And I did many hours of work this week to improve this system so that I have less noise. It's like no false positives. It's all like real, useful, actionable things that I need to change. And I also added performance, where I can see. Sorry, let me make sure I don't leak data again. Yeah, it looks fine. So I'm starting to get data like this, which is performance based, which tells me like each page, how long it takes to render, and whether or not a user might be pissed at me because the page is loading too slow and stuff like that. It's not incredibly useful yet, but I'm hoping that I can improve it so that as the game becomes less buggy, I can focus my time on making things faster again, which is something that people always like.
Indeed.
So a lot of stuff like that going on behind the scenes. Tumat says line or call stack. Usually the stupid line of code is a layer or 2 up. It's actually both in most cases. I'll get the line, and then I'll get the stack trace, and then I get a lot of context data. Like when you launch the game, it initializes the error checking, and it calls a function called setUser, and it sets your user ID, your email, and your username. So I can glance at that. If I need to contact you, your email's right there. If I need to talk to you on Discord or it's someone I recognize, I see your username and I can just come to Discord and ask you directly. That's how I asked 21 Rick yesterday what he did with concealed weapon, because I got a bug and I had the user set to 21 Rick, and I also had the context data set to show me the action. So I knew the crash, I knew the call stack, and I knew the action he played that caused the crash, and I saw it was like play fate concealed weapon. So I was like, okay, 21 Rick played concealed weapon, got this error, and I reached out directly to ask him because I wasn't sure.
Sorry, I'm sitting here looking at the light bouncing off my glasses. I'm like, which way can I turn my... I realize I look like a weirdo on camera. Like, which way?
So that is a huge boon to help me. I also found out that Invader, I don't know if he's here, but Invader...
Is he still here?
I'm learning a lot about how he set up our interrupt system. I pretty much understand it all now. But maybe you guys have noticed sometimes if I attack you and I pass my interrupt and then you pass your interrupt, it's done, right? But if I attack you, you play an interrupt, I pass your interrupt, it goes back to you to accept, then back to me again, then it approves. And it feels like a bug. I don't know if you guys have noticed that before, but it feels like the math is off. Like, why did I have to approve twice if he didn't play anything? So, fun fact, and I don't know if this will be long term, but it'll at least be up through 1.0. There are combat interrupts, which are just, I'm in combat now. I'm not playing anything. And then there are interrupts. Solofin noticed it, not sure if it's intentional. It is intentional, it turns out. So, if I attack you and I accept, without doing anything, I'm accepting my combat interrupt. Then you are saying, I accept the combat interrupt, and it ends. But if you play a card, and I get to accept it, I'm accepting the interrupt of the card that you played. Then it goes back to you to accept the combat interrupt, then back to me to accept the combat interrupt, then to the finalize. It's confusing, I know, but it's basically if no one plays a card, it's a different kind of interrupt. Past 1.0, I think we can combine those. I don't think it's necessary. Just an interrupt can be an interrupt. But there is a difference between a combat interrupt and a regular interrupt. And then at the end, there's a finalized combat timer. So, trying not to get too nerdy here.
Oh wait, yeah.
But you have the turn timer that's always running that gets paused during combat. Then you have the combat timer. Then you have the interrupt timer, and then you have the finalized combat timer, and they all kind of play off each other. And then if you disconnect from the game, it needs to pause all of them and start a forfeit timer. This is how you guys get into stages very randomly and in weird edge cases where the accept button gets grayed out. It's because those timers don't get paused properly during a disconnect, or a person disconnects for a split second. I'm not entirely sure yet. But I did learn that the combat interrupt timer did not pause, and neither did the finalized combat when you disconnected. So I fixed that, which could fix the combat freezes as well, if you're still with me here. But yeah, what should happen is it should freeze all your timers, and then when you resume, it should just pick up where it left off. And it wasn't doing that, which means your timers could run out while you were disconnected, and then when you come back, you could get stuck in a phase. So yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit, pardon my French, that goes on behind the scenes to what looks like you are having a very simple, combat, pass, accept, done. There's so much crazy shit there. So as far as I can tell, this is the last bug I have found with the timers. I love how Julie took her glasses off because of the glare.
I'm not really saying anything or looking at anything at the moment. Everything's fuzzy, so I'm just like...
Yeah. So I think...
Also feeling cute.
I don't know of any more timer bugs, so that's good. But also I'm really knowledgeable with the timers, which Invader wrote, so it took me a while to get up to speed. So I'm going to start taking a stab, and this is the part that people will care about. I'm going to start taking a stab at adding the post-combat interrupts. So... my goal is to have cards like Sworn Vengeance, the Mishma card that basically after combat, if your guy died, he comes back from the dead and wounds the guy one more time. Cards like that implemented in the game in the next couple weeks. And that will add, I think, 20-something cards to the game, which will be very exciting. And having a phase to play cards after combat opens up a lot of new strategies, which should be really exciting. So that'll be fun.
You're really exciting.
I love it when she feels adorable because she just like smiles and looks at herself in the camera and she's like...
I can't see myself in the camera. I don't have my glasses on right now. I can't see anything.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just hoping.
Yeah, so Sworn...
You added a couple of cards this week.
So this is the card that I was talking about. So play immediately after your warrior is killed in combat. The other combatant receives a wound. There's a lot happening there, though, because we need the post-combat interrupt, because if you attack me and you kill my warrior, and then you don't do anything else for your turn, you'll just end your turn. Now it's my turn. I never got a chance to play that card. If you played, like, say, Positive Karma after combat, technically I could play this as an interrupt, maybe, and it would work, but that's, we need a guaranteed time that a player can play a card during his opponent's turn after a combat is finished. So that's what we'll be adding. But then also the other combatant receives a wound. So that means if it just gets a wound, that's fine. But if he gets a wound and dies, that means I need to be able to trigger the do you want promotion or destiny window again. So there's a lot of moving parts that I need to connect there. Probably break a bunch of stuff that you guys will hate me for. But in the end, it'll be amazing. So that's fun. What were you going to say? Cutie?
I don't know, but I was hoping for the pop-up that shows these cards were added this week.
Oh, I didn't do that one yet.
Oh, I was gonna take a screenshot and add it to my tweet.
Oh, well, I'll do it after we're done streaming. So yeah, Sworn Vengeance. But let's see, I added Corrosive Igor?
Icor.
Icor?
Icor.
Echo?
Icar.
So it's another one. For every 2 destiny you spend, your enemy is -1 to armor. So that's fun. I forgot the other ones I added. There's too much in my brain.
The other cards you added, it was Gust of Hesitation, Dizzying Aura.
Gust of Hesitation was a fun one. For every 5 destiny, you can discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. So that one is interesting. I don't know how much you guys will hate it, but 5 destiny to discard 1 doesn't seem totally overpowered.
Icor.
But it should be interesting. And being able to cast it any time is interesting, so you can play it at the end of their turn and maybe get rid of their miscommunications. So that'll be fun. What did Tomek say? Discard hand is in game?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Can't see.
And what was the other card?
I blanked. I'm sorry. I read it out loud and I forgot what it was.
Oh, God. Please hold. Julie's got too many windows open.
I don't know where it went. I'm sorry. Where's Discord? There it is.
Dizzying Aura. Thank you.
Oh, man.
It's the other Dark Symmetry card, so it's like the complement to Corrosive Icor. Tomek says Gust of Hesitation looks balanced. Michael seems to agree. Wow. That's a rare instance.
Wow.
Coffee. So for every 2 destiny this combatant spends...
Look at everybody getting together and getting along and agreeing.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. Did you guys just agree? You guys don't agree. What is this? Is it Mercury's in...
Not retrograde?
Gatorade.
Mercury's in Gatorade.
Side note, I kind of like this setup. I had to get a USB extension cable to get the Stream Deck over here, but I am... For any of the nerds at home or anybody interested in the technology side of things, like I said, microphone running to an audio input, Sony mirrorless camera running to an Elgato Cam Link, and then over here I have a MacBook Pro running Doomtrooper, which is what you see right now, running into a capture card. So, and then the Stream Deck here to control the scenes on OBS. So I'm sitting
3 feet?
No, it's
4?
like 5, 6 feet. 5, 6 feet from my keyboard and mouse.
I'm sorry, that was an American.
Yeah, so I can't control anything manually, but I have the Stream Deck here, so I can jump around between scenes, which is really cool.
Once per month, Doomtrooper players can agree on something.
I will say, Michael says it's costly. I will say it's interesting the more cards that we're adding that use the Destiny slider, which means they cost Destiny to play. It's interesting that we nerfed, by we I mean me, basically, Positive Karma and cards like that. So Positive Karma now gives you 3 Destiny as well as your opponent, but it used to give 10. So there's something worth like looking back at that and being like, okay, if cards are going to cost 10 Destiny to play, maybe Positive Karma could be bumped back up.
It took me a solid 20 seconds to realize that was the word bananas. I was like, what language is this? What is he saying? And then I'm like, oh, bananas. Hold on. Woo!
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's funny because if you guys remember our friend Toshiro, he's the guy who showed up, one of them, but the main one who showed up in Discord and was obsessed that Doomtrooper was coming back for 2 days. Then he demanded that we make the cards back to their normal retro way, and we didn't.
The look or the rules?
The rules. And then he demanded it 2 more times, and then he asked to be banned.
What a weirdo. Just leave.
He doesn't want to play anymore. He wants his account erased. He wants to be gone. Kickstarter rewards, everything. Just he doesn't want anything to do with us. And it was basically because
strong feelings.
It was basically because Positive Karma was 3 Destiny instead of 10. That was it.
Wow.
Discarding cards from opponent's hand should be costly. Agreed. Remember Subterfuge? Oh. That card. What is it now? Opponent does not draw cards at the beginning of their next turn. It used to be discard opponent's hand. Just, your hand's gone. And you guys rioted. I do not look forward to dealing with that again. Alright,
that was the whole thing.
Let me see what do we got next.
We talked about the 3 cards.
Oh, I am looking into... So... I'm looking into bugs for next week. So there was a couple bugs in the client that have been reported that I'm going to fix that you guys may have seen, but... oh, God.
It's going to be a minute of this motorcycle. I don't know.
Can you guys hear that? Our neighbor likes to rev his motorcycle. Oh. I don't know how bad that is for you guys.
One of the nerdiest things about me is that I think motorcycles are like a complete menace to society. I'm like, they're awful, they're noisy, and they're dangerous, like an old person. And he when I first met him, he had a scooter and he used to ride it. His sister rides motorcycles, and I'm just like, they're awful. I had a friend die on one when I was like 21, so it kind of, that also like really traumatized me. Random nerd fact about me. I think they're done with the motorcycle. Is that it?
That was it. They just revved it once.
That's weird.
I have Jito shouldn't be able to assign to Shogun less than the commander's value. So apparently there's a bug with commanders. Cancel combat cards. Chasm, Fog, Get Me Out of Here, etc. Also cancel combat modifiers. I don't know that one's going to get fixed this week. I've talked about this before, but it stores... When you miscommunicate something, it stores like the last state of the game, and then it just jumps back to that state. And I haven't quite thought this through, but I think what's happening is when you cancel combat, it says combat's over, and there's like stat modifiers that have the end of combat flag attached to them, which means, oh, end of combat, get rid of me. Then you miscommunicate and it jumps back to that state instead of the one before it. I don't know. There's something funky. In theory, it shouldn't happen, but obviously it is happening, so we have to track down exactly why, and hopefully it's not a nightmare. But it could be a similar nightmare to when you miscommunicate, or oh god, what is it? It's like you play reassignment, and then somebody uses the destiny from reassignment to cast Kanji's Lucky Sense. So they wouldn't have had enough to play it, but since they got the destiny from reassignment, they now have enough to activate the card to cancel reassignment. So then it rolls back.
It was confusing.
Yeah, but they spent money that they never would have had because they canceled the card that gave them the money. That's another one on my list, but it's going to be a bigger problem to solve.
That's just hard to say out loud, let alone code.
Because the rules of Doomtrooper are the card resolves immediately.
There's no stacks in Doomtrooper.
Unless the next card affects it directly.
Oh, no. That is a stack, then. The mini stack.
Julie gets it. I have working on today and tomorrow, actually, so balancing, which you guys have seemed to kind of agree on a couple things, but like hidden cash, reversal of fortune, at your service. I know there's a bug. Somehow Squadron Commander from Imperial got the wrong text copied and pasted into my work spreadsheet, and I implemented what was written because that's what I do. I don't know if Brian screwed it up, if I screwed it up, if Steve screwed it up. Like somebody copied and pasted something wrong there, and I think it's the text from Graveyard. Ironically, a support card got added to Squadron Commander, who is supposed to be a commander. So that's why Imperial doesn't have a commander, because the text was wrong. So I'll be fixing him. And there's a few others that you guys have reported in Discord that I'm going to be going through. You guys talk a lot, so if I miss one, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to get a handful of these put in by tomorrow night. Then invulnerability protects warriors even if opponent has power immunity. So that's because that card is played like a fate card. When you play it, it gives a vulnerability to, or invincibility to your opponent, and then goes away. So if power immunity doesn't affect the ability to cast it, then you just have it forever. So basically you cast it like before combat, there's no power immunity in the play. And then you attack a person who has power immunity, you still have that ability, and it's no longer tied to the power because it's given to you. So I talked to some people on Discord and agreed that it should work more like an attachment. I don't know entirely how I'll do it. I don't know if we have other art spells that attach. I think we do. Just a lot to keep track of. But basically, I think invulnerability should attach, and while it's attached, you have invincibility, and if you have power immunity, it'll unattach the card. I gotta play with it though. It's a tricky edge case. And I am aware, no one's reported it in a while. Solifins is slacking on this one. But I am aware that power immunity screws up value calculations still. So that should finally be on my plate soon as I'm messing with combat. But basically it turns off the power immunity calculation before value is calculated for your victory points. And if your power immunity prevented the opponent's, unholy power from giving him a bunch of attack, it should also prevent you from getting a bunch of additional value from that card because you're immune to the power. But it turns off too early. I need to refactor combat so that it turns off after everything is selected in the final step. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, Julie, your turn.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I got nothing. I was reading a thread about angry men upset that a female character doesn't look feminine enough in a video game.
Why are you reading that during stream?
I don't know. Because I didn't have anything constructive to add during that segment.
Okay, back to Doomtrooper.
Sorry.
Sorry, I should check in on the chat since you're not.
Hey. Nobody has said anything. I don't want to talk about brain buckets more.
Mental shield and explosion. Yeah. You're right. I just worked on explosion, so I should have remembered that. Yeah, so it's easy then. So it should work just as explosion. It gets attached. I think it has the persistent keyword is how we do that. And it will, then it'll be able to turn it off by power immunity during combat. So, sweet. See, this is why you guys are great. As much as I get frustrated with all the fighting and arguing and people yelling at me and telling me I ruined their childhood, those things I doubt. I'm like, why did I make a game with the community involvement so heavily? I was like, this was a bad idea. But then little moments like this where somebody reminds me how the game works. It's like, okay, this is why I did it, because I need help, and that's why I have you guys, so thank you. Now you're looking at yourself. So this week I'm trying to add, as I promised before, self-destruct programming. I didn't get to it this week, but I want to add that.
Are we looking at the groomed and ready column, or?
Well, the left
backlog.
two columns.
Okay.
I also want to add black bullets, which
sounds goth.
Yeah. So black bullets is a fun card. So attached to a firearm, or in this case, attached to a warrior with a firearm, a cartel warrior wounded by the firearm becomes a heretic and profane. If the warrior has value 4 or less, it joins your side. So I really like this card, but one thing that I'm torn on, which I would love opinions, is that it's an Algroth card. And I kind of want to make it general. And I know that's a little lore breaking, but kind of not really. Because if you think about Inquisitors can mark a guy as a heretic, and then there's bonuses to heretics. Without being able to mark someone as a heretic, any buff against heretics is worthless if you're playing any other deck except a heretic deck. But if this card was general, then any warrior could load his gun with black bullets that he stole from the Dark Legion, and bonuses against heretics could help. So we could change Klansmen, for example, to say that they get bonuses against Dark Legion or heretics. And then you could play an Imperial deck where your Klansman had black bullets and you could shoot a guy and then attack him and get that bonus, which would be super crazy.
Oh my god.
What's up, Balfour? How's it going, man? Oh, I was going to wear your shirt on stream.
You did say that.
I forgot. All right, next time. Sullivan says yes, but then you'll have heretics in your Brotherhood squad. This is true. I used to use the example, though, of how the old game had rules like no corporation could attack Brotherhood. But I would say if Mitch Hunter puts his Punisher handgun to the Cardinal's head and pulls the trigger, there's no magic that saves the Cardinal. I mean, there might be, but in most cases, there's not. So that rule was silly. So if if a Mortificator takes off his armor and gets shot with black bullets, why would he not become a heretic? I think that would be like the lore question here to whether or not we could actually do that.
Doomtrooper hype. Sorry.
Oh, Balfour, you missed it. I got my setup working so much better with the Stream Deck and a computer over here, so I can run it through my capture card, and we can control the scenes from the couch. I don't have to run over there all awkwardly, which is great. So yeah, that's the big question with the lore is Black Bullets makes an already huge, powerful faction even more powerful. But if we made it general, it opens up a wealth of awesome new strategies. So, yeah, feel free to bring that up in Discord or chat.
Yeah, this is, I don't know if you, did you drop in last week? I can't remember. No, you were like, was that, oh my god, was it last week that we saw him? It's like time is just like,
I don't know.
What the, anyways, yeah, this is the couch setup as opposed to the desk setup that we do. Yeah. God, time just like has this weird circular feeling for me. Like I don't know what week it is and what I've done recently, and oh my god. Wow.
I'm also trying to add fly.
It was last weekend. Okay, I'm not crazy. It was last weekend. Well, this is the setup we did last weekend for the first time. So, okay.
Fly is an interesting card because we don't have the ability to, like, we have the no fight keyword, like Chasm, I think, does it. So if you play Chasm, everybody gets the no fight keyword, which means they can't do fight combats. But we don't have the ability for one warrior to not be the target of fight. So it'll be an interesting little thing for me to figure out. But it's another, we're making Brotherhood powerful. Brotherhood and Algaroth already have so many options. That's why I'm excited in the near future to add the Blessed keyword in. So then you could use Fly, for example, in your Bauhaus deck. But you would have to give your character, say, Blessed Armor so that he's able to cast it. It's going to be a very specific strategy, but you guys tend to use, you guys being everyone, like the Doomtrooper meta is very specific anyway. Like it's like, get this warrior out, get these buffs. So the idea of, I don't know, Valerie Duval plus Blessed Armor plus Fly is not crazy. It's not crazy out of the question. So that could be fun. Oh, sorry. Let's see. We also got... Oh, here's an interesting one. So, Brother Claudius. For every one destiny he spends on art spells, it counts as 3. Originally, I was like, okay, that's a lame ability. But as we've been adding all these art spells that use the destiny slider, like Brother Claudius with Explosion is really powerful. Or Gust of Hesitation. Instead of spending 5, he needs to spend 2 and to discard a card from your hand. So let me know what you guys think about him. Is his ability powerful? Is it weak? Is it overpowered? I go back and forth on all 3 of those. So I really like his artwork, though, so I do want to get him in. But there's a few warriors that have this ability, so once I add that, cool. I could do a few of them in, which would be nice. All right, Julie, tell a story.
I don't have any stories. I haven't done anything this week. Except be depressed and have really bad anxiety. That's about it. That's my week. I'm struggling.
I bought a new wallet. They don't sponsor me, so they only get like 2 seconds. But you may have seen ads on YouTube. Autofocus. Come on. Need a better camera. It's a Ridge wallet. Okay, that's all they get. But it's got a little notch. You can push your cards up and pull them out.
Justin is a big fan of there's certain items that he is like obsessed with. Wallets, pens, and not just like a normal pen that you go and buy in a store, like these like metal pen, like titanium pens, and like, so wallets, pens, bags, any type of bag. Loves bags more than any person I've ever seen. Good God, what else is it? One of your things?
I break it down to I'm really obsessed with everyday items done really well.
Sometimes it's just like trays, like literally places where you put all your like crap when you get home. Like he likes those. He's got a couple.
I really like organization, but
Yeah.
I really like pens, notebooks, bags, flashlights, wallets, stuff. Just the stuff that for basically most of my generation,
Notebooks.
our parents' generation, and our grandparents' generation, we all just took it for granted. Like you're depending on how old you are, you and your dad and your grandpa probably had a wallet this thick, made out of leather, that was either bifold or trifold, in their back pocket, so they, a whole generation of scoliosis.
Totes fucks up your hips,
Yeah,
guys. It actually really does.
So the idea of like my generation basically stepping it up and being like, okay, let's redesign the wallet, it's really exciting to me.
Balfour wants to know how many cards it holds.
I don't know. If you go to ridge.com,
well, how many
they don't sponsor me.
Have in it?
I don't use very many anymore. I try to optimize my life like a programmer would, and I think I only have like 4 in here right now. So, but I know it can hold 10, 15 probably. Like it's got elastic.
Really?
Yeah, so it stretches out.
Okay.
But I don't want a super thick wallet. I want something that I could just slide in my pocket and forget about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the end all of my obsessive with everyday objects has led me to watches. And my first nice watch is supposed to ship tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today.
He gets very
supposed to ship today, but I haven't heard anything. But if you don't know, like really nice watches don't have batteries, and they don't need to be wound. Like there is enough. They
wind themselves.
Yeah, you wind it once, and then as you walk, there's like a pendulum type thing on the inside that moves and uses centrifugal force to add tension to a spring, I believe. I'm making this up a little bit. But basically, the movement of your body winds the watch. And that blows my mind. When you think of an everyday object, no battery, no computers, no nothing, just gears, will wind itself. Kind of obsessed with that. So, yeah, Willow gets it. Willow's got a nice self-winding watch, I believe. So, yeah. So I ordered one that is modeled after old cars, and it's Miami Vice colored. It's really,
which means pastel.
Yeah, it's like pastel blue and like pinkish orange. It's either going to be the coolest thing I've ever seen or the ugliest thing I've ever seen, so I will let you guys know when I get
rad.
it.
I like it.
But I'm very excited to have my first self-winding watch. Maybe in the next week. We'll see.
As someone from the Miami area, I approve.
It's a small company, so they don't respond to my support emails, and they don't tell us anything about when it's shipping other than it ships around May 30th. So we'll see. But yeah, anyways, that's what's up with me this week.
Yeah, that's it. Watches. He's getting a titanium marker eventually.
High grade titanium Sharpie. One Sharpie to rule them all. Who doesn't want that?
I mean, yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, Willow, I need to see your watch next time I come over. I want to see it in person. And hopefully I'll have my new one so we can trade for a minute. Obviously not forever.
Just look at it. That's it. Hit it back.
Yeah, well, no. I think her watch is way nicer than mine, so I'll give it back. Don't worry.
Okay. That's funny.
Also, if anyone has an Oculus Quest, I bought Settlers of Catan.
It's a Rolex.
So.
Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, there's a Settlers of Catan VR.
I don't know that he's ever played it. Maybe once or twice. Or...
I played it with you multiple times.
When have we ever played it? Like years ago, maybe.
Handsome Matt played it. His group played it, and we played it with Deb at the Jewish holiday number 63.
Oh, right. God, that was years ago.
What holiday was that?
It was probably for Hanukkah.
There were dreidels.
It was definitely Hanukkah. It was Christmas time.
Hanukkah. I would buy Oculus just to play it. Yeah, I got it for $11. The Settlers, not the Oculus. But if you're able to look past Mark Zuckerberg being a robot who wants to take all your information and steal it, there is zero reason not to own an Oculus Quest 2. It's three. I mean, if you can't afford it, there's a valid reason, but it's $300. My last VR headset was $1,000 plus. This one is $300, arguably just as good. Self-contained, you don't need any wires, or you can hook it to your PC and play PC games. It's a real great way to just chill and unwind.
Everyone says Catan. For the longest time, I just said Catan. Settlers of Catan. There was a phase of my life where we played it every single week. Every week. Got together Friday night or something. Not with this one. And every week played
So,
that
fun fact, Courtney, Court of Bones, and Willow came over our first hangout since the pandemic started, other than we had one friend that we saw who was like super quarantined in the middle. But anyways, our first post-vaccination hangout, Willow and Courtney came over and we played some really awesome board games or card games.
It was one game.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really like that game. So I can't remember the name. Feel free to post it because I'm really bad with remembering it. But I do want to play it again. Yeah. Splendor.
Nice.
Splendor. And Balfour, you guys should come over sometime. You guys seem like the type who would enjoy playing games like that with us. It'd be fun. A fun evening. Next time you're in LA.
Next time you make the 10-hour drive. Oh man.
So yeah, Doomtrooper. I've done 4 weeks of adding new cards every Friday as promised.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're on a mission to stay on this schedule.
I have sucked at posting the updates in the game and the Steam updates, which I'm going to rectify this week. That's something I need to do. And this one is I spent a lot of time redoing our email marketing platform on the back end, and this one has yet to send an email. So we're going to send an email since we're starting a new month. Right, Julie?
Okay.
So that'll be nice. So watch for that. And I pledge that there will be a code in that email for free stuff.
Oh, okay.
So open the email, click on it, get free stuff.
Maybe we should put that in the pre-header text.
Free stuff in this email?
Free stuff in this email.
I have a lot of ideas about what the rewards are for the season that ends tomorrow.
Oh, God. Wow, Justin.
Yeah, I'm just so busy. It's oh. So I'll come up with some. I'll finalize that by tomorrow, obviously. Make sure it's worth it since I kept you guys in the dark for 60 days.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll add some bonus rewards just for me being behind. So yeah, that's more cards on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, and here in the States we have tomorrow off, so that bodes well for Doomtrooper.
Yep. Day off means I can play some Catan, play some Resident Evil, which I finally played again yesterday, and I'm going to work on post-combat interrupts for a few hours and see if it's as easy as I think it could be. And if it is, maybe we'll see post-combat interrupts on Friday, 1 or 2. If it's not, then I'm screwed. But I'm also going to be working on the tutorial a little bit tomorrow.
Yay! I'm so excited for tutorial.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about it.
How far did you get? I beat the doll. So I guess there's 4 bosses in the game, mini bosses, starting with the tall vampire chick. So the next one is the creepy ventriloquist doll thing. I beat it. I think that's the one you said you like, Steve. If it is, I see why. It was just one giant puzzle. It was really cool. Willow says she hated it. Did you hate it? Why? Oh,
I
it was
hated
really
it,
well
but
done.
it was really well done.
Yeah, the scene. I don't
love
think
the fairness.
I don't think it's a spoiler too much, but there's a scene where the creepy doll who's alive hides from you, and you play hide and seek. But there are hundreds of creepy dolls all over the house, and they all start twitching.
Ew.
And as you're running around, there's just child's laughing and twitching dolls everywhere, and you have to find her as fast as possible. It got to me a little bit. Steve says it creeped me the fuck out. Yeah. it makes me really want to work on horror games again. But obviously, Doomtrooper comes first. So I'm looking forward to playing some more. Also, I did go back. I don't know if you guys did. There's a graveyard outside her house. You can get a missing piece of her headstone and go back. And there's this giant with an axe that takes all your ammo to kill. And you get a ton of money after you defeat that little mini boss. So I went back and did that so I could like max out some guns and stuff. It was fun.
PT kinda. Remember when you said that about the hallway?
Yeah, it was very PT like.
Yeah.
There's one hallway where you have to go down and make a right, and then there's a door that like opens on its own. I was like, this is straight out of PT. They did that on purpose. It was cool.
Yeah, escape room style games are fun.
Yeah, I mean, I told you guys about the VR game I want to make where it all takes place in one room and there's video monitors and stuff. It could end up being like escape room-esque because there's creepy stuff that happens like outside the video monitors, and I think we could make it where you have to survive things to eventually get out of the room. I think it could be fun. RE7 got real spooky. At 8 went a little more action, but not too much. Yeah. Speaking of the Oculus, if you guys don't know, Resident Evil 4 has been redone, and they've updated the assets to run in VR, and that's coming exclusively to the Oculus Quest. So I am looking forward to replaying RE4, and I don't really like the idea of VR horror, but I'm willing to try it for 4 because it was mostly action, so I think I can handle it. Yeah. Like I said, $300 well spent. You get to play Resident Evil 4, Settlers of Catan, and if you like poker, there's really great VR poker that's free. A lot of fun. Ridge Wallet and Oculus should sponsor me because I'm always plugging it. But speaking of Facebook, they have a developer conference coming up, and some of you guys know that my card game engine is based on technology that Facebook created called React.js. I've always imagined
JavaScript.
that someone at Facebook would give a shit, because I'm using their tech in a new way, and I'm going to try to get other people to use it with me. And every time I go to like E3 or GDC or PAX, I go to the Facebook gaming booth, and I'm like, hi, I'm a developer. I'm using your tech to make a game engine. And they're all like, meh.
We're just paid minimum wage to stand here
Yeah,
at this booth.
basically, we are just paid for this booth, and we don't know. Have you reached out to these people? I was like, yeah, they didn't respond. So it has been impossible to get anyone at Facebook to help me. Like, I don't know, you would just think that I'm using the tech in a new way, so maybe the team would want to know if I encounter any bottlenecks or things that they can do to make people like me use their tech more. But
the machine is too big.
Yeah,
it's too big.
It's crazy. Can you share with new player charts how many new players joined? Not quite. So normally we average, I don't have the charts on this computer. Normally we cycle between like 1 or 2 new players who find the game organically and register every day to random spikes of like 8 or 9. And that's with no advertising. So for the last month we've been doing advertising, and we're seeing
light advertising.
We see the number jump up to averaging closer to 8 or 9, which is great. The downside is like, the lack of tutorials, the lack of free stuff when you play.
That's the tough thing, though, is like it is hard to want to spend a lot of money on ads to get new players when the new player experience isn't quite there yet.
Yeah,
but I am excited at running these ads and seeing like what targeting works and what visuals people respond to.
Yeah, so we are targeting Magic Arena players and Hearthstone players now.
I don't know that it's Arena, actually. I think it's just Magic the Gathering.
Okay, well,
I don't think it let it get that granular.
Well, either way, Magic players and Hearthstone players, and
separately.
It seems like the Hearthstone players are going better.
I think so. I haven't checked this week actually,
but basically, like imagine the baseline being like 1 to 3, and then it spikes to 8. Now the baseline is closer to like 6 or 7, and spikes to like 14. And then for games per day, it's the same thing. The baseline used to be here, and then it would spike. Now the baseline is where the spikes used to be, and the spikes are like double what the baseline used to be. So it's definitely a quantifiable increase as the game has become more stable and we've been buying ads. I think though the big reason why we don't get as many games, beyond the fact that new players don't like getting smashed by you guys. So the new player experience and getting more free stuff will help. But the other side of things is that a lot of you guys seem to log in Monday morning and play a lot Monday and a lot Tuesday to do your weeklies. And then it kind of cycles off for the rest of the week. And then you show up on the weekend to do like ranked matches and stuff, or finish, if you didn't finish your weeklies, we see a spike there. So I've been working on the new weekly missions, and I think what I'm going to do is make the weekly missions 3 parts, maybe even 4 parts. I want to have a variety of missions, but I'm going to add one at a time. And if you finish the mission, you get another one at midnight, which means if you're on mission 1 and it's Sunday, you'll never get the chance to do 2 or 3. So you have to do mission 1 Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and you have to do mission 2 Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And then you have enough time to get and complete mission 3. So my thought process is that it'll give you guys more rewards, but it'll also get you guys playing more throughout the week, which is like a snowball effect. As new players join, there'll be more players to play against, and hopefully that makes sense. Like, none of these problems can be solved with one solution. Like, we need ads to bring new players in, but we need the new player experience improvement to give them more of a fighting chance against Thorgal. Then we need more rewards and missions to get the regular players to play more throughout the week so that there's more people in matchmaking. And then we also need more long-term rewards and stuff for sale in the store for coins to give people a reason to play more things. So it's like, it's a lot for, that's why I can't remember what card does what when we're talking about the stream and I have to ask somebody. I don't even remember which cards I added on Friday, and that was 2 days ago. It's because all of this stuff is in my brain and I'm trying to balance it all, and it can be a nightmare. As a scrub, I can confirm, not so great getting your butt kicked. Yeah. That's an interesting problem, because that problem is solved by more scrubs playing. But if a scrub gets his butt kicked and then quits, then the next scrub will also get his butt kicked and quit. But if those both scrubs stick around, then we can adapt the algorithm to match the scrubs together, and then they have more of a chance. But I don't think that problem is solvable by itself at all in any way. I think that problem is solved, like I just said, by solving all the other problems. So if everybody's playing more and new players are getting more stuff and new players are getting funneled into the game, that problem will solve itself over time or fail. But there's no way to solve it directly. Yeah. Some new players adapted very quickly and bite back, says Solifan. That's good to hear. I try to not read reviews as much, and I try to not read the stats as much, but I do like to glance at the stats every now and then and just look at who's playing and see if I recognize the names. And if I don't recognize the name, sometimes I'll click it, and it's either a game the first time they've ever played, or I see that they've played 30 games. And if that happens, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, a guy I don't know, he doesn't talk in Discord, joins the game, it's a guy. We're 98%
I know,
male.
I'm just
I
really
know.
trying to break you of your,
I know.
your
a
pronouns.
A person joins the game, and they play 30 games, and they don't talk in Discord, and I don't know who they are and stuff like that. Makes me feel really good, because that means underneath any of the bugs and the stomping and the lack of a great tutorial, that means there is something here that people like. Which I mean, if you're on the stream, you know that already. But that's really cool for me to see. Bots equal ego boost. Yeah, so I am still planning in the near future the ability to, if there's no one else playing, it will give you a bot. And that will at least allow people to complete their missions when the lobbies are empty. But it's never a priority, because I'm hoping that the lobbies just stop being empty. Make the daily faction missions X or Y. Some of my faction-specific sets are very meh. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of why you're able to swap your missions. But it would suck if you're like, oh, I don't have any Cybertronic cards, and you swap it and you get another Cybertronic. So there's definitely improvements that we can do there. Oh, also Boot Camp. I've been promising. Boot Camp was not part of the original set of cards, but somebody requested it, and I think it should be added. So that one is likely going to get time to go in this week. I don't have anything that I can show. I don't think. Maybe I do. This guy is not my website, but if you guys don't know this website, he does a great job of showing cards. Yeah, so basically, add to your squad is one action. Place 5 markers on this card. You may remove a marker at any time and add a warrior with base V of 4 or less to your squad. You do not have to use actions or play Destiny. Discard when markers are gone. So this card would allow you, if you had a handful of like Cartel Grunt, Cartel Soldiers, you could play this card, and then using those tokens, you can just play those guys really quickly, which is maybe overpowered. Maybe we need to make it 3 counters. I don't know. But it's a really great strategy to play this and then do Cartel Grunt, Cartel Soldier, which will combine. Cartel Grunt, Cartel Soldier, which will combine. And then maybe Cartel Guardsman to guard them. That would be an insane turn 1. You'd have 2 5/5 Slayer guys with a frontline guy on your first turn. So maybe we have to suspend it. I don't know. But it's an interesting card, and I think it will start to allow cartel decks to be a thing, which has been one of my pet projects. What are you reading about, Julie?
I was looking at our ads.
Yeah, Balfour, we're about done too, so see ya, man.
Also, Balfour, when I go to Ad Manager in Facebook, I still have access to Naked Sky Entertainment. Guess that'll be there forever.
All right. Any questions before we log off? I think Saturday Night Live is done, so I don't know what we're going to do while we eat lunch, but
we'll figure it out.
Oh, I know what we're going to do. We are on the final episode of Community.
Oh, man.
We have watched all 6 seasons of Community over the last few months, weeks, days, and we're on the last one. And Steve, if you're still here, Season 6 is exponentially better than Season 5. If I remember correctly, it's even better than Season 4. So
I don't know about that.
Season 6 has been great. So definitely, if you haven't watched it, still watch Season 6. Solifin said he saw all episodes a few years ago. Yeah, I always skipped it. It's really easy to see a couple of the jokes or just see the first episode and think it's cheesy.
Yeah, I thought it was hella cheesy when I watched it back in the day.
But once you actually watch it, you get it. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. It's been a good ride. I've enjoyed it. Yeah. All right, I'm good. I'm ready. Oh, yeah, I know somebody won't let us finish Handmaid's Tale, so
We're about to get back on Handmaid's Tale.
We better, because the thing you made me watch last night was hella depressing and dark. And
all
if
right.
we can watch that, we can watch Handmaid's Tale.
How about when we get through Night of, the next one we watch is Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
All right. We just started The Night Of on HBO. We never watched it. We forgot.
Yeah, I don't even remember this thing. Like, yeah. It's from a couple years
back.
But
it's like true detective style, like dark, gritty, crime, whatever. So we're watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go put away all these tripods and microphones and mic cables.
All of these things.
Stream decks and... Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Also, if there are balance things that are really important to you that you want to see in this balance update I'm working on, feel free to just post again at the end of one of the channels, because there's a lot to scroll through, so the stuff at the bottom is most likely to get noticed right away. So feel free to be like, hey, don't forget to balance this card. All right, we will see you guys next week, and as I keep promising, maybe I'll do a programming stream again. I want to. It hasn't worked out yet. All right. Say bye, Julie.
Bye, Julie.